Hey guys, this is Fractions Day 10. We're going to get into some more word problems today where we're going to be doing of the remainder word problems, like I'm sure what you remember from percentages. So let's get started. After paying $22 for a skirt, Michelle had 5/7 of her money left. How much money did she have at first? Okay, well this one's not too hard, right? Let's look at it and let's bar model it. I want you to be asking yourself, how would you divide up this bar model? So you should be working along with me. And since I'm reading in here that Michelle had 5/7 of her money left, I should probably go ahead and divide this up into 7 portions, right? So here's what she had left. Oops. And that was 5/7. And here's what she spent. Now it does say that she paid $22 for a skirt. So that has to be this portion right here. So looking at that, I can tell that the $22 equals 2 units. So I'm going to solve with the unitary method. Solve for $22. And I wanted to know how many she had at first. Well, I started off with 7 units. So that's what I'll solve for. So 7 units is going to equal 7 times 11, which is $77. Not too hard, right? I bet you guys did that on your own. Let's try another one. Okay, this one's a little bit harder. John made 200 popsicles. He sold 1/4 of them and gave away 3/5 of the remainder. How many popsicles did he give away? Okay, well, how are we going to bar model this one? Let's see here. I'm going to start with this. And I'm going to start at the beginning of the word problem, and I'm just going to start marking my bar model. So we know that John made 200 popsicles, right? So the whole thing equals 200 popsicles. And then it says that he sold 1/4 of them. So you know what? Let's go ahead and mark this into 4s. And mark off what he sold. And then it says he gave away 3/5 of the remainder. Okay, so here's where this is going to get a little bit tricky. Since he gave away, here's our remainder here, right? We have 3 units remaining, but he gave away 3/5 of it. So what are we going to do with that? I can't very easily divide that 3 units up into 5 and then mark off 3 of them, can I? So I actually am, in this case, I'm going to draw a drop down, okay? And it's the same size as my 3 units up on my top bar, but now this one's going to be divided up into 5. So I've got 5 units there, and this is how many he gave away. He gave away 3/5 of that amount. Well, I need to find out just how many popsicles this drop down equals. So I'm going to solve with the unitary method, and I'm going to say 4 units. Now I'm looking back up at my original amount there, and that equaled 200 popsicles, didn't it? So if I solve for 1 unit, 200 divided by 4 is going to be 50. And now I want to know how many popsicles are in these 3 units here. So 3 units is going to be 50 times 3, which equals 150 popsicles. Okay, now I know that after selling 1/4 of his popsicles, he had 150 left, right? Well, that 150 equals this amount down here. So now I know that. Now I can solve for 5 units because on my drop down I've got 5 units there, right? Because we want to figure out how many he gave away. So 5 units equals 150. 1 unit equals, 1 unit, not units, good grief, equals 150 divided by 5, which is going to equal 30. So let's solve now for 3 units. 3 units is 30 times 3, which equals 90 popsicles. And that's how many he gave away. Okay, let's try this one. This is going to be a fun one. There were 90 people at the park. Half of them are men. 1/5 are women. And the rest are children. How many children are there? So here's the thing. This is not an of the remainder problem, is it? It's just telling you that of these 90 people, some are men, some are women, and some are children. Now, how am I going to mark up my bar model when I have these fractions with different denominators? I bet you guys are saying to yourself, Mrs. Chergans, we need a common denominator. And I've got a half and a fifth, so I'm going to go with tenths. Okay, so 1/2 becomes 5/10, and 1/5 becomes 2/10. So let's go ahead and divide this up into tenths first of all, and then we'll mark what portion of it are men and what portion of it are women and children. So we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you guys notice I marked it in half first, and then I marked each of those halves into fifths because it's not very easy to start at the left and go and mark off 10 units. It's just kind of a lot. You're going to lose track by the end. So I like to mark it in half first, and then after that, then in whatever I need to do. So that works with even denominators. Okay, so how many do we have that are men? We've got 5/10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/10 are men. 2/10 are women. And the rest are children. Okay, now we can see that we've got 3/10 are children, right? And we want to know how many there are. Well, first of all, we've got to figure out what one of those units is, how many people are in that. So we've got 10 units, which equals 90 people, right? So 1 unit is 9, and whoops, I meant to write unit there. And for children, we have 3 units. So that's going to equal 9 times 3, which is 27 children. All right, trying another one. There are 225 members in a band. 1/5 of them are new members. 2/9 of the new members are males. How many new male band members are there? So this, you guys, is an of the remainder in disguise right here. So let's pick it apart. We've got 225 members in a band. Okay, so that's my whole. 1/5 of them are new members. Okay, that tells me that I need to divide up my bar into 5s. So we're going to mark this one as new members. Now it says that 2/9 of the new members are males. Okay, so we're talking about, of that little portion right there, 2/9 are males. And gosh, I'm going to have to section this thing into 9, aren't I? Okay, so we've got 2 of them that are males. Okay, how many new male band members are there? Well, I want to solve for this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve with Unitary Method and figure out how many band members are in 1 unit up here, right? Because I can see that this 1 unit equals this drop down of new members down here. So let's do that. So we have 5 units that equal 225 band members. So 1 unit is going to be 225 divided by 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to grab a little extra space up here, and you should be doing this on your own too, but let's divide that. Let's see, 5 goes into 22 4 times, And then we subtract, and then we bring down a 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. And I'm good to go. So 1 unit is going to equal 45 members. Okay, so now we know that this little portion down here equals 45. And what I can do now is I can use unitary method again and solve for 9 units, because I have 9 units down in that drop bar. So 9 units equals 45. 1 unit equals 45 divided by 9. And we're going to solve for 2 units. 2 units equals, oops, I forgot to finish that. Losing my train of thought. 45 divided by 9 is 5. So 2 units equals 5 times 2, which equals 10. So there are 10 new male members. Let's try this one together. Eva has 24 roses. 3/8 of them are red, and the rest are white roses. How many more white roses than red roses does Eva have? Okay, let's draw in a nice big bar here. Okay, well, she's got 24 all to start with, right, all together. Sorry, but it keeps flashing to the next slide there, but tech problems, that's okay. So 24 roses, right? It says 3/8 of them are red, and the rest are white. So let's go ahead and divide up our model here into eighths. Okay, and 3/8 of them are red, so let's mark those. And then the rest are white. So 5/8 of them. Now the question is not how many roses do we have, or how many red, or how many white. The question is how many more white roses than red roses does Eve have? So we're going to go ahead and solve for unitary method. We have 8 units that equals 24 roses. Okay, so 1 unit equals 24 divided by 8, which equals 3, right? Okay, well, how many units should we solve for right now? If each of these is 3, we want to know how many more white roses they have. Well, let's look at the units. We've got 3 units of red and 5 of white. So if we find the difference, the white roses have 2 more units than red roses, right? So we're going to solve for 2 units. So 2 units is going to equal 2 times 3, which equals 6 more roses. All right, I hope you guys are encouraged with these word problems and finding that you are starting to see the process and solving these. Again, just go nice and slow, just be systematic, and you'll be fine. You have all the skills you need to solve these. It's just thinking step by step and going through it carefully. And that's it for today.